Good morning, everyone. Myself Sujit Pandey, Assistant Professor at Medical Department in Bali University. Now, our today's subject is helicopter engineering. How we have to discuss this subject. Now, in this subject, chapter 4 is the blade element analysis of helicopters. Blade element analysis of helicopter. In this chapter, we are going to discuss blade elements on the focus on the blade only of helicopters. Now next is what is the introduction? The introduction is the blade elements theory BET forms the basics of most modern analysis of the helicopters rotor aerodynamics because it provides estimates of the radial and azimuthal distribution of blade aerodynamic loading over the rotor disc. The BET assumed that each blade sections act as a quasi 2D airfoil to produce aerodynamic force and moments. Tip losses and other empirical factors may be applied to account for three-dimensional effects. Rotor performance can be obtained by integrating the sectional air loads at each blade elements over the length of the blade and averaging the result over a rotor revolutions. Now, therefore, unlike the simple momentum theory, the BET can be used as a basis to help design the rotor blades in the terms of blade twist, the platform distribution, and perform also the airfoil shape to provide a specified overall rotor performance. Right? Now, next is now we can see in a figure the top view of the blade and blade elements. The figure 1 indicates velocity and aerodynamic environments at a typical blade elements. Right? In this figure we can see what is the velocity components UP, UT, UA. U is the what resultant velocity component, UT is nothing but tangential velocity component, UP nothing but perpendicular velocity component. Phi is the angle between U and UT, and alpha is the angle between U and chord line, and theta is the angle between chord line to UT. Right? R is the radius of the blade, omega is the rotation of the blade. Blade element analysis in hovers and axial flight. The resultant local flow velocity at any blade elements at a radial distance y from the rotational axis has an out of plane component UP is equal to UC plus VC plus VI and normal to the rotor as a result of climb and induced inflow at an in plane components ut is equal to omega y parallel to the rotor because of rotor blade rotation relative to the disc plane. The resultant velocity at the blade element is therefore u is equal to square root of ut square plus up square. The relative inflow angle or induced angle of attack at the blade elements will be phi is equal to tan inverse up by ut is approximately equal to up by ut for a small angle. Thus, if the pitch angles at the blade element is theta, then the aerodynamic or effective angle of attack is alpha is equal to theta minus phi and theta minus up by ut. Right? Okay, next. The resultant incremental lift dl and drag dd per unit span on this blade elements are dl is equal to 1 upon 2 rho u square c into cl into dy and dd is equal to 1 upon 2 rho u square c into cd into dy, where cl and cd are the lift and drag coefficient respectively. The lift dl and drag dd acts perpendicular and parallel to the resultant flow velocity respectively. Notice that the quantity C is the local blade chord. Using figure 1, this force can be resolved perpendicular and parallel to the rotor disc plane, giving dfz equal to dl cos phi minus dd sin phi and dfx is equal to dl sin phi plus dd cos phi. Therefore, the contribution to the thrust, torque and power of the rotor are dt is equal to nb dfz, dq equal to nb dfx into y and dp is equal to nb dfx into omega into y, where nb is the number of blades comprising the rotors. Notice that in the hovers or axial flight condition, the aerodynamic environment is ideally asymmetric and the air loads are independent of the blade azimuth angle. Substituting the result for dfx and dfz, dt equal to nb dl cos phi minus dd sin phi, and dq equal to nb dl sin phi plus dd cos phi into y, and dp is equal to nb in bracket dl sin phi plus dd cos phi into omega into y. For helicopter rotors, the following simplifying assumptions can be made. The out of plane velocity up is much smaller than in the plane velocity ut, so that u is equal to square root of ut square plus up square approximately equal to ut. This is a valid approximation except near the blade root. But the aerodynamic forces are small here anyway. The induced angle phi is small, so that phi is equal to up by ut. Also sin phi is equal to phi and cos phi is equal to 1. The drag is at least one order of magnitude less than the lift, so that the contribution dd sin phi or dd phi is negligible. Applying this simplification to the preceding equation results in dt equal to nb dl and dq equal to nb bracket phi dl plus dd into y, and dp is equal to nb into omega phi dl plus dd bracket into y. Right? Now next is proceeding further, it is convenient to introduce non-dimensional quantities by dividing the length by r and velocity by omega r. Here small r is equal to y by capital R, and u by omega r is equal to omega y divided by omega into r. Then 1 is equal to y by capital R is equal to small r. Also dct is equal to dt by rho a omega r whole square, dcq is equal to dq by rho a omega r whole square into r, and dcp is equal to dp equal to omega dp upon rho a omega r cube. The inflow ratio can be written as lambda is equal to vc plus vi by omega r is equal to vc plus vi by omega into y into omega y by omega r is equal to up by ut into y by r is nothing but phi into r. Therefore, the increment in thrust coefficient dct is equal to nb dl divided by rho a omega r whole square is equal to nb in bracket 1 by 2 rho ut square c into cl into dy divided by rho pi r square into pi r whole square. Now is equal to 1 upon 2 nb into c by pi r into cl to y by r whole square into dy by r, d of y by r. Then 1 upon 2 nbc by pi r cl r square into dr. Now the grouping NBC pi r is known as the rotor solidity sigma. For a rectangular blade, C is equal to constant. This is the ratio of the rotor blade area to the rotor disc area. Sigma is equal to blade area divided by disc area is equal to AB by A is equal to NBC by R divided by pi r square, and is equal to NB into C by pi r. Therefore, the rotor thrust coefficient increment is simply dct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma cl r square into dr. This is one of the most fundamental equation for rotating wing analysis by means of the BT. By a similar approach, it can be shown that the rotor torque coefficient increment is dcq equal to dcp is equal to dq upon rho a omega r whole square into r is equal to nb in bracket phi dl plus dd into y divided by rho pi r square omega r whole square into r is equal to 1 upon 2 nbc by pi r in bracket phi cl plus cd r q into dr is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma phi cl plus cd r q into dr, which will be noticed to represent the sum of an induced part and a profile part. Now integrated rotor thrust and power. To find the total CT and CQ, the incremental thrust and power quantities derived above must be integrated along the blade from the root to the tip. For a rectangular blade, the thrust coefficient is CT equal to 1 upon 2 sigma integration 0 to 1 CL r square into dr, where the limits of integration are equal to 0 at the root and r is equal to 1 at the tip. For the corresponding torque or power coefficient, CQ equal to CP is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma integration 0 to 1 phi CL plus CD RQ into dr is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma integration 0 to 1 lambda CL r square plus CD RQ into dr. Using the general result that phi is equal to lambda by r to evaluate CT and CQ, it is necessary to predict the span-wise variation in the inflow lambda as well as the sectional aerodynamic force coefficient CL and CD. If 2D aerodynamics are assumed, then CL is equal to CL is a function of Reynolds number alpha and Mach number, and CD is also a function of alpha, Reynolds number and Mach number, where RE and M are the local Reynolds number and Mach number respectively. The thrust approximations, based on a study linearized aerodynamics, the total blade lift coefficient can be written as CL is equal to CL alpha alpha minus alpha naught is equal to CL alpha theta minus alpha naught minus phi, where CL alpha is the 2D lift curve slope of the airfoil section comprising the rotors, and alpha naught is the corresponding zero lift angle. For an incompressible flow, CL alpha would have a value close to the thin airfoil results of 2 pi per radian. Therefore, CL alpha can be taken outside of the integral sign, giving Ct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma integration 0 to 1 CL r square into dr is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha integration 0 to 1 theta minus phi r square into dr, and using the result that phi is equal to lambda by r, then the thrust coefficient can be written as Ct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha integration 0 to 1 theta r square minus lambda r into dr. Untwisted blades and uniform flow. For a blade with zero twist, theta is equal to constant equal to theta naught. Also for uniform inflow velocity, which is assumed in a simple momentum theory, lambda is equal to constant. Therefore, in this case, the thrust coefficient is given by Ct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha integration 0 to 1 theta naught r square minus lambda r into dr is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha theta naught r cube by 3 minus lambda r square by 2 integration 0 to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha in bracket theta naught by 3 minus lambda by 2. To find the direct relationship between Ct and the blade pitch, we can use the relationship between Ct and lambda as is given by the simple momentum theory in chapter 2. That is, the lambda is equal to lambda h is equal to square root of Ct by 2. Therefore, the Ct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha theta naught by 3 minus 1 upon 2 square root of Ct by 2. The linearly twisted blades uniform inflow. All the helicopter rotor blades use some amount of span-wise twist in their shape, although in different forms and with different amount. As will be shown, the use of blade twist provides the rotor with several important performance advantages. Many helicopters' rotor blades are designed with a linear twist so that theta takes the forms theta is equal to theta naught plus r theta tw, where theta tw is the blade twist rate per radius of the rotor, that is the degrees per rotor radius or the equivalent in degree per unit length of the blade. Using the variation in theta r, we get Ct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha integration 0 to 1 theta naught r theta tw r square minus lambda r into dr 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha theta naught r cube by 3 plus theta tw r 4 by 4 minus lambda r square by 2 limit of 0 to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha in bracket theta naught by 3 plus theta tw by 4 minus lambda by 2. If the reference blade pitch angle or collective pitch is taken at 3 by 4 radius known as the theta 0.75, sometimes just as theta 75, then theta r is equal to theta 75 plus r minus 0.75 theta tw, and Ct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha integration 0 to 1 theta 75 plus r minus 0.7 theta tw r square minus lambda r into dr. Then is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha integration 0 to 1 theta 75 r square plus theta tw r cube minus 0.75 theta tw r square minus lambda r into dr. 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha theta 75 by 3 plus theta tw by 4 minus theta tw by 4 minus lambda by 2 is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma CL alpha theta 75 by 3 minus lambda by 2. Torque power approximations. According to the BAT, the incremental power coefficient on the rotor can be written as dCp is equal to dCq is equal to sigma by 2 phi CL plus CD RQ into dr. Using the result that lambda is equal to phi r and expanding out dCp is equal to sigma by 2 phi CL RQ into dr plus sigma by 2 CD RQ into dr. Sigma by 2 CL lambda r square into dr plus sigma by 2 CD RQ into dr, dCpi and dCp naught is equal to dCpi plus dCp naught. dCp is equal to lambda dCt and dCp naught, and the total power coefficient Cp is equal to integration 0 to 1 lambda dCt plus integration 0 to 1 upon 2 sigma CD RQ into dr. By assuming uniform inflow and CD equal to CD naught equal to constant, then after integration Cp is equal to lambda Ct plus 1 upon 8 sigma CD naught. Tip loss factor. For the effect on the rotor thrust and induced power because of the locally high induced velocity produced at the blade tip by the tip vortices, the basic form of the BAT permits a finite lift to the produce at the blade tip, which of course is physically unrealistic. The Prandtl tip loss factor B is used to represent this loss of the blade lip and can be considered as an effective blade radius Re is equal to Br, and in practice B is found to take a value between 0.95 and 0.98 for the most helicopter rotor. When the tip loss is included in the calculation of the rotor thrust using the BET, one approach is to consider the other portion of the blade R minus Re to be incapable of carrying lift. In this case, the results for the lift is given by integrating the segment lift over the effective blade span as Ct is equal to integration 0 to b sigma by 2 Cl R square into dr is equal to integration 0 to b sigma Cl alpha by 2 theta R square minus lambda R into dr. Blade elements momentum theory. The blade elements momentum theory for hovering rotors is a hybrid method that was first proposed for helicopters used by Gustafsson and Gustav 1946 and Gessow 1948, and combines the basic principle from both the blade elements and momentum theory approaches. The principles involve the invocations of the equivalence between the circulation and momentum theory of fluid with certain assumptions. The BET allows the flow distribution along the blade to be estimated. Consider first the application of the conservation law to an annulus of the rotor disc. This annulus is at a distance y from the rotational axis and has a width dy. The area of this annulus is therefore di is equal to 2 pi y into dy. The incremental thrust dt on this annulus may be calculated on the basis of simple momentum theory and with the 2D assumptions that successive rotor annuli have no mutual effect on each other. Now is the top view and the cross-sectional view annulus of the rotor disc as used for a local momentum analysis of the hovering rotor. First is top view, second is cross-sectional view. Right, y is the distance from the center to the elements, and dy is the tip of this width of the elements, and vc to vi is the final velocity, and vc plus vi is the incoming velocity. Y is the distance from the origin to onwards at that strip, right? Annulus. Now next thing is, as might be expected, this approach has good validity except near the blade tips. The removal of this 2D restriction requires a considerably more advanced treatment of the problems using a vortex wake theory. However, a good approximation to the tip loss effect on the inflow distribution can be made using Prandtl's circulation loss function. On the basis of the simple one-dimensional momentum theory, the mass flow rate over the annulus of the disc is Tm is equal to rho dA Vc plus Vi is equal to 2 pi rho Vc plus Vi y into d. So that the incremental thrust on the annulus is dt is equal to 2 rho Vc plus Vi into dA equal to 4 pi rho bracket Vc plus Vi into Vi into y into dy. This has also been known as the Finster-Walder equation. It is more convenient to work in non-dimensional quantities, so that dct is equal to dt upon rho pi r square omega r whole square equal to 2 rho Vc plus Vi into dA divided by rho pi r square into omega r whole square equal to 2 rho in bracket Vc plus Vi in Vi in bracket 2 pi y into dy divided by rho pi r square into omega r whole square is equal to 4 Vc plus Vi divided by omega r into Vi by omega r into y by r into d of y by r, or simply dc equal to 4 lambda I r into dr. Therefore, the incremental thrust coefficient on the annulus can be written as dc is equal to 4 lambda I r into dr is equal to 4 lambda in bracket lambda minus lambda c into r into dr, because lambda is equal to lambda minus lambda c. The induced power consumed by the annulus is dcpi is equal to lambda dct is equal to 4 lambda square lambda I r into dr 4 lambda square bracket lambda minus lambda c r into dr. This assumes no swaddle in the wake, which is justified in the section 3.3.6. Consider first the hovering state where lambda c is equal to 0. The incremental thrust and power contribution of the annulus are given by dct equal to 4 lambda square r into dr and dcpi is equal to 4 lambda q into r into dr, which are given by Gloret 1935. The total thrust coefficient of the rotor is dct Ct is equal to integration r equal to 0 to 1 dct is equal to 4 integration 0 to 1 lambda square r into dr, and the corresponding induced power coefficient is Cpi is equal to integration r equal to 0 to 1 lambda dct equal to 4 integration 0 to 1 lambda q into r into dr. The assumed radial distribution of inflow on the blade. The foregoing results are valid for any radial forms of induced velocity distribution across the disc, assuming for illustrative purpose that the inflow can be prescribed and expressed in the simple form lambda r is equal to lambda tip r to the power n for n is greater than equal to 0. Then the equation 3.48 leads to Ct is equal to 4 integration 0 to 1 lambda square r into dr is equal to 4 lambda tip square integration 0 to 1 r to the power 2n plus 1 dr is equal to 4 lambda tip square divided by 2n plus 2 is equal to 2 lambda tip square divided by n plus 1. Solving for lambda t gives lambda t is equal to square root of n plus 1 square root of Ct by 2. The induced power coefficient is Cpi is equal to 4 square integration fourth of integration of 0 to 1 lambda q into r into dr is equal to 4 lambda t q integration 0 to 1 r to the power 3n plus 1 into dr is equal to 4 lambda t q divided by 3n plus 2. And the substituting the result from the equation 3.5 to give Cpi is equal to 2 into 2n 2 into bracket n plus 1 to the power 3 by 2 to c to the power 3 by 2 upon 3n plus 2 square root of 2. It had been shown previously that the induced power can be written as Cpi is equal to k times Ct to the power 3 by 2 upon root 2, and so in this case the induced power factor k is equal to 2 into in bracket n plus to the power 3 by 2 and divided by 3n plus 2. Notice that for n is equal to 0 uniform inflow, then k is equal to 1 ideal case for n is equal to greater than 0 and k is greater than 1, and the values of n increases, k increases as the inflow becomes more heavily biased towards the blade tips. Now the radial inflow equation, although it is clear from the foregoing that if the inflow can be determined, consider information about the rotor forms can be obtained. The issue is now to devise an approach that we can solve for the inflow directly without making any assumptions as to its magnitude or forms. One solution can be obtained using a hybrid blade elements and momentum approach, using the principles of the equivalence between the circulation theory of fluid, the momentum theory of fluid from the BET. It has been shown in equation 3.15 that the incremental thrust produced on an annulus of the disc is dct is equal to 1 upon 2 sigma cl r square into dr equal to sigma cl alpha by 2 bracket theta r square minus lambda r into dr. Equating the incremental thrust coefficient from the momentum and blade elements theory equation using equation 3.45 and 3.57, we find that sigma cl alpha by 2 in bracket theta r square minus lambda r is equal to 4 lambda in bracket lambda minus lambda c into r, which gives sigma cl alpha by r theta r minus sigma cl alpha by r into lambda is equal to lambda square minus lambda c into lambda. Now or lambda square plus sigma cl alpha by 8 minus lambda c into lambda minus sigma cl alpha by 8 into theta r is equal to 0. This quadratic equation in lambda has the solution is lambda is the function of r comma lambda c is equal to square root of sigma cl alpha by 16 minus lambda c by 2 whole square plus sigma cl alpha by 8 theta r minus of sigma cl alpha 16 minus lambda c by 2. Consider hovering condition where lambda c is equal to 0, then equation 3.61 simplifies to lambda r is equal to lambda I is the function of r is equal to sigma cl alpha by 16 in bracket a square root of 1 plus 32 by sigma cl alpha theta r minus 1. Equation 3.62 allow for a solution of the inflow as a function of radius for any given blade pitch, blade twist distribution, planform chord distribution and airfoil sections through the effect of lift curve slope Cl alpha and zero lift angle alpha naught by theta. When the inflow is obtained, the rotor thrust and induced power may then be found by integration across the rotor disc using equation 3.48 and 3.49. Ideal twist, Grisov 1948, and shows that if theta r is equal to constant is equal to theta tip, there is a special solution to the inflow equation in equation 3.62 that gives uniform inflow, that is theta of r is equal to theta tip by r. This twist distribution is called ideal twist and is shown in the figure 3.6. This solution lies down the goal for a rotor blade design because the uniform inflow cause must always corresponds to the minimum induced power for the rotor when operating in hovers on an axial climb. Unfortunately, the hyperbolic forms of pitch, angle or twist distribution given by equation 3.63 is physically unreliable as r tends to 0. In figure, radial distribution of blade twist in ideal case, we can see local blade pitch angle oblique T pitch in represent y axis and x axis is non-dimensional radial positions are. We can see the figure 1 is ideal hyperbolic twist unit T pitch, and the dotted line is nothing but linear twist approximation with same T pitch. And this region 0 to 0 root out regions to accommodate blade attachment and pitch change mechanism. With ideal twist, the performance of the rotor can now be recalculated. If theta r is equal to constant equal to theta tip, then Ct is equal to sigma CL alpha by 2 integration 0 to 1 theta tip minus lambda to r into dr. Sigma CL alpha by 2 in bracket theta tip by 2 minus lambda by 2. Using equation 3.13 gives lambda is equal to r phi is equal to phi tip equal to constant, and so the preceding equation can also be written as Ct is equal to sigma CL alpha by 4 in bracket theta tip minus phi tip is equal to sigma CL alpha by 4 into alpha tip. Using equation 3.61 and 3.63 gives lambda r is equal to sigma CL alpha by 16 in bracket in square root of 1 plus 32 theta t by sigma CL alpha minus 1 is equal to constant is equal to square root of Ct by 2. A solution for the blade pitch angles can be found for theta t is equal to 4 Ct by divided by sigma CL alpha plus square root of Ct by 2, or theta t is equal to 4 Ct divided by sigma CL alpha plus lambda. One can also prove that the ideal twist distributions give a special results, namely a linear triangular lift distribution over the blade, which is consistent with uniform disk loading. Recall that the incremental thrust distributions is given by dct equal to sigma CL alpha by 2 in bracket theta tip minus lambda into r into dr. Because lambda is a constant, the thrust distribution on the blade varies in proportions to r, that is it is a linear distribution. Another way of writing the preceding equation is dct is equal to sigma CL alpha by 2 alpha tip into r into dr is equal to sigma by 2 CL alpha tip into r into dr. Therefore, the total thrust on the rotor with ideal blade twist is Ct is equal to sigma by 4 CL tip is equal to sigma by 4 CL alpha into alpha tip. Now, although discussed in more detail in chapter 10, another interesting results of the foregoing is that with a linear lift loading distribution, the local bound circulation on the blade is constant. The link between lift per unit length of the span and the distribution of the circulation of the blade omega y is given by the Kota-Joukowski theorem, so that dl is equal to rho omega r omega y into pi omega I y into gamma into dy is equal to 1 upon 2 rho omega y whole square into c into cl into dy, or simply that cl is equal to 2 gamma divided by omega y into c. Therefore, using equation 3.69, dc equal to nb into rho into omega y into gamma into dy divided by rho a omega r whole square is equal to nb into gamma into r into dr divided by pi omega pi r square is equal to sigma clt divided by 2 r into dr. So that gamma of r is equal to sigma clt omega r square divided by 2 nb is equal to c into r into clt omega by 2 is equal to constant. Confirming that ideal twist gives uniform inflow, a linear distribution of lift thrust, and a constant bound circulation over the blade. The blade element analysis in forward flight. For a helicopter, the rotor must provide both a lifting force in opposition to the aircraft weight and the propulsive force to overcome the rotor and airframe drag in forward flight. In forward flight, the rotor moves almost edgewise through the air, and the blade section must encounter a periodic variation in local velocity. This gives rise to a number of complications in the aerodynamics of the rotor, including the effect of blade flapping, significant compressibility effect, unsteady effect, non-linear aerodynamics, and the possibilities of stall, reverse flow, and so on, and the complex induced velocity from the rotor wave. All these effects are difficult to model. These solutions are very instructive and also provide closed form expression that can be used for validation or as sanity checks. When analyzing the result from more comprehensive mathematical model of the rotor aerodynamics, the use of such checks is considered good in engineering practice. The same blade elements as assumption and approximation previously used for the asymmetric flight case can also be considered as a valid in forward flight, as before the velocity at the tip blade element with a pitch angle theta is decomposed in the out of plane perpendicular velocity component up and the tangential in plane component ut perpendicular to the leading edge of the blade, both relative to the rotor disc plane, as shown in the previously in figure 3.1. The resulting velocity is u equal to square root of ut square plus up square is approximately equal to u2, because up is generally small relative to u2 over most of the blade. The relative inflow angle or induced angle of attack at the blade section phi is equal to tan inverse up by d is equal to up by d for a small angle. Therefore, the aerodynamic angle of attack of the blade element is given by alpha is equal to theta minus phi. Now, the resulting increment dl per unit span on the blade element is given by del is equal to 1 upon 2 rho u square c into cl into dy is equal to 1 upon 2 rho ut square c into cl alpha bracket theta minus phi into dy is equal to 1 upon 2 rho ut square c into cl alpha in bracket theta minus up by ut into dy is equal to 1 upon 2 rho c cl alpha in bracket theta ut square minus up ut into dy, and the incremental drag is dd equal to 1 upon 2 rho u square c into cd into dy, which act perpendicular and parallel to the resultant flow velocity at the section respectively. Resolving this force perpendicular and parallel to the rotor disc gives dfz equal to dl cos phi equal to dd sin phi is equal to dl is equal to 1 upon 2 rho c cl alpha in bracket theta ut square minus up ut into dy, and dfx is equal to dl sin phi plus dd cos phi is equal to phi dl plus dd is equal to 1 upon 2 rho c cl alpha in bracket theta up ut minus up square plus cd by cl alpha into ut square into dy. Now, in the BET, the aerodynamic effects resulting from its the radial velocity are neglected. This is an accordance with the independence principles of Swift, which states the aerodynamic results only because of the velocity component angle of attack perpendicular to the leading edge. Climb velocity Vc, omega is the rotation, flapping head, induced velocity Vj, y is the function of y and psi, flapping rate, induced velocity y beta dot, and direction of positive flapping. Mu omega r beta into cos psi, beta is the angle between them. In plane radial velocity mu omega r into cos psi into y is the distance between them. This is the figure of perambulation velocity, perturbations velocity of the blade resulting from blade flapping velocity and rotor coning of the blade sections. Distance chapter 9. However, the effect of the radial velocity of the components along with the blade may need to be considered when estimating the rotor drag. In non-dimensional form, the three preceding equation can be written as ut divided by omega is equal to y by r plus mu sin psi is equal to r plus mu sin psi. Up by omega r is equal to lambda plus y beta dot by omega r plus mu beta cos psi is equal to lambda plus r beta dot by omega plus mu beta cos psi. Up by u r divided by omega r is equal to mu cos psi. The definition of the approximate induced velocity field beside according for the effect of the blade pitch and the flapping motion. The blade elements method in forward flight requires an estimate of the induced velocity find which is no longer asymmetric. The effect of the individual tip vortices tends to produce a highly non-uniform inflow over a rotor disc, and the calculation of this effect is a formidable understanding. Nevertheless, the performance of the rotor can be analyzed with the aid of this simpler model that represents the basic effect on the inflow resulting from the rotor wake. These models are called inflow models and can be formulated on the basis of experimental results or more advanced vortex theory. Because of their simplicity, inflow models have found great utility in many problems in helicopters, rotor aerodynamics, aeroelasticity, and flight dynamics. Linear inflow models. A remarkable in-flight experiment to measure the time averaged induced velocity over the rotor disc in forward flight was made by Botherwood and Stewart in 1948. Based on measurement of the ambient displacement of the smoke streamers introduced upstream of the rotor, the longitudinal inflow variation was determined to be approximately linear. Now, in higher speed forward flight, mu is greater than 0.15, the time average longitudinal inflow becomes more linear and can be approximately represented by the variation. Lambda is equal to lambda naught in bracket 1 plus kx into kx x by r is equal to lambda naught in bracket 1 plus kx r into cos psi, which is a form first suggested by Collerton 1920 figure 3.28. The coefficient lambda naught is the mean average induced velocity at the center of the rotor as given by the standard. You can see in this figure the linear inflow modal approximation over the rotor approximate the physical distribution. You can see the longitudinal inflow in the first, and downward figure is the lateral inflow. Psi for longitudinal inflow psi is 0 to 180, and for in lateral inflow psi is equal to 92 to 70 degree. TPP is nothing but T path plane. Uniform momentum theory where lambda is equal to Ct by 2 square root of mu square plus lambda I square. Gloret suggested that kx equal to 1.2, so that there is a small upwash at the leading edge of the rotor and an increase in downwash relative to the average value all along the trailing edge. This of course is similar to the chord-wise downwash variation generated by a fixed wing. A variation of Gloret results is to be considered both a longitudinal and lateral variation in the inflow. In this case, lambda is equal to lambda naught in bracket 1 plus kx x by r plus ky y by r is equal to lambda naught in bracket 1 plus kx r cos psi plus ky r sin psi. Here kx and ky can be viewed as weighting factor and represent the deviation of the inflow from the uniform value predicted by the simple momentum theory from experiment. You can see in this figure, this is the figure of components of relative wind, right? Okay, this is the last slide. Okay, thank you everyone. I hope everyone enjoy this lecture. Okay, we can meet in our next lecture. Thank you everyone.